I want to encourage you today not to stress and not to worry if you feel like you're falling behind in life, right? Because I feel like people hold themselves to such high standards these days, especially young people. And we want a lot for ourselves, right? But we might be feeling like we behind, you know? And whatever it may be for you, you could have been a job opportunity or a relationship or financial opportunity, business, whatever it may be for you. You might feel like you've squandered a lot of opportunities and things for your life. You might feel like you've messed up a lot of blessings and opportunities that have come your way, and just kind of thrown them out the window. But I want to encourage you that God can make up for lost time, and he can replace all that was lost with something even better. So if you're going through something like that in your life and you feel behind and you feel like you've wasted so much time and thrown so many opportunities and blessings out the window, don't beat yourself up for it, man. Like, don't beat yourself up for mistakes that you've made. Very human mistakes too. Everybody make these mistakes, bro. Like, it's a part of the journey. And it's very easy to fall into negativity and get stuck in our heads in this cycle of just, beating ourselves up and being hard on ourselves for these things. And the thing is that God allows us to go through these things. It's like God wants us to go through these things because this is how we learn. And there's like profound wisdom to be gained in those type of situations. Like, I've thrown away so much money, like tens of thousands of dollars I've thrown away and squandered. And I used to beat myself up really bad for that, man, because, later in life, I would be in a position where I really need some bread and I'm like struggling to pay my bills and stuff, you dig? And I'm like, man, I could have used that 10,000 now, you know? Excuse me. But you just need to understand that these things have to happen in life in order for us to grow. These things have to happen, and God encourages us to go through these things because that's how we get closer to him. Also, that's how we strengthen our faith. And in these times, it's really important for us to lean on God and lean into our trust for God, because God will fix everything. God will fix everything, and he'll bring you to a point where you can look back on all these things you lost and the time you feel like you wasted, and you'll see the benefit of it and what you learned from it. You learn to do better next time. You can learn, like, man, I never want to be here again. I never want to feel like this again. Because it's a rough feeling, bro. Like, when you have been praying for a blessing or something and then something come across your lap and you squander it, it's rough. I know how rough that is. Like, that sucks, bro. Like, I hate that feeling. And I've noticed that just completely surrendering it to God, is the best way, man. Like, that's how stuff really gets fixed. And it might not be overnight. It might take some time, as all good things do. But I just want to encourage you to lean into God and trust God, because he is the fixer. He can restore lost time for real. Wherever you're at in your life, whether you're 40 years old plus or you're younger, he can restore the time that you've lost. He can restore years, hours, months, whatever it is, with new blessings and new opportunities and new life, new freedom, new peace, new love. So I just want you to understand that that God is with you, you know, God has your back, but you got to be trusting of him. You have to trust his process and his timing, right? Because God don't want to give you something too early also. Sometimes it can be God protecting us. You know, something might come our way, a relationship, a person, opportunity, a job, whatever it may be, could be coming our way from the enemy. And little do we know that down the road that might have hurt us in the end. You know, that person, that money or this or that, we might have used it to hurt ourselves in the end, you know, or lead us down a dark path. And God oftentimes could be saving us from that, you know? He could really be saving us from that. And more times than not, that's what it is God protecting us from something that in the big picture at the end of the day is not going to be good for us. So, you know, we really just got to trust God and lean in our faith, because it's either going to be God is trying to protect us from something that's not the best for us. And we just don't know it yet. We can't see that, but God can see that. Or there's something that God wants us to learn. You know, we have some more growing to do within ourselves, you know, and we weren't ready to steward the blessing that He had for us, you know, and we got some more learning to do. So I just want you to understand, you know, and feel comfortable and feel protected next time you go through something like this, or if you're going through it right now. Just know that it's God working in your life, you know, and it's most likely God protecting you. If that relationship didn't work, if that job didn't work out, whatever it may be for you, like I said, know that God has your back. And we got to remember that when we're going through these hard times, right? And when we're dealing with loss or, you know, messing things up or whatever it may be, man. Just please remember, y'all, that God has your back. He's protecting you and He's teaching you. That's all it is, man. So really, it's a blessing in disguise, you know, as things usually turn out to be. If you got any value from this video or it helped you at all, man, it mean the world to me if you drop a sub for the new channel. You know, come join the Numb World family. I pray God bless you today, y'all. I'll see you in the next one.